Yes, welcome along to episode 15 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365 with David Jennings and Johnny Dineen, counting down to the 2025 Cheltenham Festival. And Johnny Dineen, there's just 2 weeks to go. The countdown is well and truly on, a fortnight to go. And as you will know, there was no Upping The Ante last week. It just didn't feel right. It was too raw. We lost a great man in Michael O'Sullivan. It was one of the darkest days I can ever remember. I knew him personally, and Johnny, I don't think I've met anybody quite like him. He was just in every possible way a gentleman, brilliant jockey. Everything about him was just pure class, and we've lost a good one.
Yeah, look, I only met the lad once at the Cheltenham preview last year. He was alongside me. You were there as well, and look, he came across as a grand fella now. You know what I mean? Very, very grand fella. Look, it was an awful situation, desperate stuff altogether. I mean, you'd never forget something like that, and it's going to throw a real cloud over the season, Cheltenham, and for seasons ahead. Because anyone involved with horse racing will never forget that. Never ever. You couldn't even put words to it. I don't think anyway. You know what I mean? It's like truly like horrendous situation. I remember even as a young fella, I'm sure I was at a point with my dad. It was like probably 40 years ago, and there was a guy killed off a horse. Like it's something that I never forgot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And now there's like Kieran Kelly and John Thomas McNair, and there was a young Cleary lad killed as well. So there's been a few, but like this was very, very, very sad, very upsetting. Yeah,
absolutely. And just to everybody who knows Michael, to his friends and family, we wish you all the best, and hopefully you can find some way to get through it. I have to say, William spoke absolutely beautifully at the funeral, and I know it's going to be tough, but we're all behind you. And rest in peace, Michael O'Sullivan. So let's kick off with Johnny's week in review, which is actually a fortnight in review. Johnny, how did you do since we last saw you?
I'd say not far off of quits, I'd imagine. I wasn't doing a lot of betting last week. With the poor young lad dying, I think there was a few days left to go, and I was betting the weekend there, and up and down kind of stuff. No huge damage. I'd say I probably lost last week, but I did win something yesterday, so there wouldn't be much in it now for the last 14 days or so. Yeah.
Okay, and what was your best result since we seen you last?
Best result would probably be Tati Dory on Saturday.
Yeah. That was a great shout in your column in the Racing Post.
I didn't have a big bet on it, but I laid Highland at the same time. You know what I mean? In running, I laid Highland. It was belting fences and everything, but like coming to the last, Highland was going into second place, so it was very important that Tati Dory jumped the last, because usually when I'm in a situation like that, especially if it's on Sky Sports Racing, I can't look at it. I have to actually look at the computer to see am I over the last. You know what I'm saying?
You're not.
I know, I can't. Really? I can't wait for it. Maybe about 50 yards from the fence.
Yeah.
When I know it in real life, it has jumped the fence or it has fallen, I'll watch the computer to make sure I'm over, because I can't wait.
But then what happens actually if it goes 1,000 on the computer and you know he's going to fall?
You know he's going to fall then, yeah.
That must be.
But I want the news earlier. I don't want to be waiting that 10 seconds to find out. No, it wasn't too bad when it's on RTV, because it's only about a second behind or something.
Okay.
I can put up with that, but the 10 seconds wait is desperate. So if it's on Sky Sports Racing or at whatever channel it is at the races, there's about a 10-second delay. So I have to watch.
There was a huge sigh of relief, was there?
Oh yeah, I got over, because it was going to be a disaster for me if Highland had won. Yeah. And I already had laid a winner in running at the meeting. Rubo.
How did that
I don't know, last week Cobbs and that. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Hey.
I did. I went. I think I laid it at 10-1 and everything at one stage. But anyway, look.
Way over your head.
Yeah.
So Catador, which is an extraordinarily big price for you, Johnny Dineen. You don't usually do those big prices.
Yeah,
but well done.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was your best result. I know you laid Rubo. What was the real stinger in the last
stinger
week?
was yesterday. Whimsy. I backed that absolute Jezebel, that thing. Whimsy. You see her at the start, and I was praying she wouldn't go, you know. I was praying she would be withdrawn, of course. You know what I mean? Because when you're on something there around even money, and next thing he's up and you're about 50 lengths behind it. But because you wait, when they're bringing her through, you can see her. She's going to plant herself again. And so she gets left 10 or 15 lengths, and it probably cost her the race, because she probably would have made the running if she was allowed. You know what I mean? But she wasn't allowed to make the running, and she wouldn't pass anything. She just stayed where she was. Now, at a few stages, you'd say she might win, but eventually she got into her head not to go by anyway, and that was it. But
how do you feel then when she's beaten?
Oh, disgusted. You're disgusted that she ran.
Yeah.
For starters.
Disgusted with yourself, I'd say.
I'm not even disgusted with myself because she was certainly if she did things right. You know what I mean? I wasn't disgusted with the actual bet, but the circumstances. You're hoping that she won't run. Or just she's withdrawn, but she's not. Then she gives away 10 or 12 lengths, and then she manages to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory as well. So like
some emotional roller coaster, Johnny.
It's the very first race as well. It's the very first bet, and I had a decent bet in her too. But anyway, she managed to lose in the year. But I was sick after that. Yeah.
Okay, but you're okay. So you're level for last week.
Yeah,
roughly.
about that. Yeah.
Slightly in front. No?
Yeah, I'd say about level. I'd say there's not a lot in it now. You know.
Okay, there you go. That's Johnny's fortnight in review. So it's time for Ask Us Anything here on Upping The Ante, where you get to have your say and get your questions in to uppingtheante@racingpost.com. We will answer the best ones each week. And this week, to start off, we're going to have a bit of fun because the first question comes in from Andrew Clark. And Andrew wants Johnny to attempt the A to Z of Willie Mullins' horses quiz, past or present. Okay, so I'll say the letter of the alphabet. You say a Willie Mullins horse, past or present, and you've got a minute. Do you think, would you need more than a minute?
No, but look, are you going to do an order or just come up with
No, in order.
Okay, that's fine.
From A to Z.
Okay, that's fine. To Z, yeah. Well, I'm going to struggle with, I'm definitely going to struggle with the X.
Okay, well, let's see how you go. Okay, here we go. So you've got a minute, okay?
Okay.
How do you think you're going to do? You're very confident, by the way.
I fancy I'll be able to do it. Bar the X.
Yeah, well, I don't think there is an X. So we forget the X, okay? Well, how would you price yourself up to do it within a minute?
Oh, no offers.
You think you're certainty?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when this clock starts, Johnny, pressure's on. Right, here we go. You ready? On your marks.
Okay.
Get set. Go. A.
Any Power.
B.
Briar Hill.
C.
Shack and Persois.
D.
Duvan.
E.
Energymine.
F.
Fahine.
G.
Gallopin de Champ.
H.
Hurricane Fly.
I.
Ilete Tamp.
J.
Jasmine DeVoe.
K.
Copic de Board.
L.
Lorena.
M.
Min.
N.
Nichols Canyon.
O.
Outlander.
P.
Penn Hill.
Q.
Covega.
R.
Radvinden.
S.
Stateman.
T.
Tourist Attraction.
U.
Understove.
V.
Vatour.
W.
Weather Witch.
No X. Y.
York Hill.
Z.
Zoidpur.
That is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Johnny's A to Z of Willie Mullins horses. And after that astonishing performance from Johnny Dineen, next up is Ashley Conlon. And Ashley wants to know, JP McManus has about a dozen, or maybe even slightly more, Ante-Post favourites for the Cheltenham Festival, Johnny Dineen. Which is the banker of the whole lot of the Green and Gold Army? What's the banker? And which is the one that definitely won't win of his fancied ones? Okay, so the banker. Have you got a banker?
Yeah, I look at the banker as Magborough, surely. I do think that will win. Barring it does something funny, it will win. Like if it puts in any kind of round of jumping, or reasonable round of jumping, it's a huge class edge, I'd say, over the opposition there.
Yeah.
So I'd say if it does what it did in Leopardstown, it'll come home alone anyway.
Second race to festival, if he turns up on the day 4 to 7 in the ring, will you be backing him?
Look, 4 to 7 is very short for Cheltenham. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be in a rush to bet 7 to 4, but there's no way of a fiver on anything to beat him anyway. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like if he was 6 to 4 on it, I might back him to win small. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't be going knee deep on one at 4 to 7 in Cheltenham, hardly ever anyway.
What about the likes of Lou de Sud, Johnny? Like that's an each way bet to nothing. Like.
Sure, it would, yeah, but there's no point getting your money back. You know what I mean? I don't fancy
it true to that,
to win the race.
I know your theory.
Yeah.
If you don't think the horse is going to win the race, there's no point backing him.
I think it's more likely to be a lot more unlikely to be unplaced than actually win. So for that reason, I wouldn't touch it.
Okay, so Magborough is a JP banker. Now give us the one JP horse that won't be winning.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd hate to say it can't win, but I couldn't fancy.
Won't win then.
Couldn't fancy it's on the line now. Yeah. He just put up a recalcitrant display in Naas. That's something that he's done before. And bar Aintree last year, where he looked a kind of a different horse. A lot of his other runs are something similar. He's running in snatches, and he was. Did he get up or did he get beaten by Billaway in that race in Naas the previous year? And then he threw away the Fox Hunters in this meet in Cheltenham. Even beaten Lifetime Ambition, he looked in trouble in that race. It was at Fairyhouse or Punchestown. Was it Punchestown? Was it?
Yeah,
Punchestown. Yeah. Look. To me, he looks like he's kind of half sour. It's on the line, and if the ground quickens up even a bit more, he's less chance, I'd imagine now. And no, he'll have Derek O'Connor and all that, but he'll need to put in probably a career.
Will he though? Will he have Derek O'Connor?
Yeah, who knows?
You never know.
You never know. It's right.
There could be a signing in that race yet, maybe.
Okay, right. Look, I don't know whatever there is or there isn't, but he's a horse I'd find it hard to fancy now, to be honest.
Okay, so the JP banker is Majbra, and the one that Johnny is very lukewarm on is It's on the Line. Next up this week is Brian Mannion. And Brian wants Johnny to walk us through a typical day in the life of Johnny Dineen, okay? We want you to put us in your shoes for the next minute or so, okay, Johnny? So what time do you get up at? What do you have for breakfast? When do you start placing your bets? Do you do much in-run and punting? When do you stop, break, and have your dinner? Okay, so let's take a normal day. We'll say a typical Wednesday where there is Irish racing and there's English racing. There's 4 meetings in total, 3 in England, 1 in Ireland. Right. Do you have an alarm clock?
No, the kids are nearly the alarm clock. You know what I mean? We don't need one. Do you know what I mean? That kind of way.
So what time are they into yet?
Well, one of them is inside in the middle of us anyway, still small little one. So I'd get up around 8 normally.
8?
Normally.
You're doing all right there.
Yeah, I'd have the same breakfast nearly 365 days a year.
Okay. What is it?
The exact same thing.
What is it?
Orange juice.
Right.
A cereal.
What kind of cereal?
It could be Weetabix, Crispies or cornflakes, whichever one I take. But usually I go on a run in them. You know what I mean? I'm on Crispies at the moment now. I'll eat them for about three weeks solid.
Yeah.
Go off them, then I'll go on to Weetabix for about 4 months, and then I try cornflakes for a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Whenever
I do that anyway.
It's in fashion at the
yeah,
time,
exactly. And then a banana.
Banana, right?
Maybe a yogurt sometimes,
and
crackers and cheese, but not the cheese that you cut. You know the baby cheeses in the slices. You know those things that you get. You know the kids eat.
Like Dairyly or something.
Do you know they're in little diamond squares. You get in a little box. There could be 8 of them. Yeah. I love them. Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm the only one that eats them in the house.
Right.
They're really for kids actually, but I like them anyway. Well, you just squash them into the crackers and off you go. So I'd eat that.
That's your breakfast.
That'd be my breakfast most days in the year. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. The exact same.
Exact same.
Now, if I was having my dinner in the summer, it'd be in the middle of the day, and in the winter it's in the evening. I reverse it.
Why is that?
Because if there's evening racing on that I want to see, I don't want to have my dinner at 6 o'clock because it'd probably collide with something I want to have a bet. Sometimes you could be waiting for a horse to run all day in maybe Leopardstown at say 6:15. Say next thing, it's the only bet you've had all day. So if you're only waiting all day, next thing it's 2 to load. Next thing dinner. You know what I mean? And you're like, geez, next thing. I'll be down outside. Next thing, this yoke won't go in, right? They're shoving it in. Next thing, go on, get it in. You know what I mean? You know, it's going cold. Next thing, this thing busts out the stalls, and they're geez, unbelievable, right? So I'm down then, but then I have to go down and have it. And so if the horse is beaten, then you're saying like, geez, them old damn chops aren't great. And if it wins, then you say, they're lovely, love.
Yeah, full of fat. No, they're lovely. They're
all beautiful, them chops, yeah.
But in winter, you have your dinner in the evening.
Yeah, 6 o'clock, yeah.
6 o'clock.
But I'm very kind of regimental, even so far I'd like to have breakfast, say 8:30, 1 o'clock, lunch or dinner.
What would you have for lunch? If you're having your dinner in the evening, what would you have for lunch? Usually.
Or maybe toasted sandwich and a cup of tea and a bar of chocolate, something like that. Do you know what I mean?
And then your dinner at 6.
Dinner, yeah. And then I could sit down and watch television later on and start wolfing into, again, I get involved in some sort of a bit of chocolate, and I'd eat that for maybe 2 months. And then I wouldn't eat them anymore, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like maybe go a spate of curly whirlies. Do you ever eat them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that eggs. Or maybe cream eggs. I love cream eggs. Yeah. Oh, I'm martyr for them, yeah. Could eat 2.
It's the time of year for them as well. Easter is coming up.
And a can of Coke and all that. And snacks isn't thing I'm on at the moment. Do you know the things like the...
What colour?
They're like things you get in a Chinese restaurant beforehand. Do you know them kind of snacks?
The prawn crackers?
Yes, yeah, in a bag. You know what I mean? I love them. Yeah.
But they're very healthy. But apart
very
from, healthy.
Absolutely. But apart from that, and very normal.
Okay.
Like,
so then, when does your betting procedure start? When do you start ringing people?
I can bet from 8:30 on.
Right.
So I'll check the prices around 8:20. If there's anything I want to have bet, then I'll back it.
Okay.
If I don't have a bet at 8:30, I mightn't have bet till the racing starts.
Okay.
More than likely won't. And then I'll be. But I don't be glued to the telly all day when the race is. Even though there's racing on, I watch a lot of it without. A lot of it leave it pass you by. But there's only certain races where I'd really pique or interest at the same time. But I still could sit down in front of it for hours at the same time. Yeah, if I had nothing else to do.
And what percentage of your bets are beforehand and what percentage are in play? Would it be 50-50?
Yeah, I do a lot of in play now, yeah. I do.
And do you trust your eyes? You do, yeah.
I do until you get it spectacularly wrong at times, which you do every now and then too. Quite a lot actually. But look, if you wouldn't think you'd make it pay, you shouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But even at that, you're betting. I'm betting from slow pitchers, So I have to play early. You can't play late, obviously. So even if I'm playing in the one you can hardly play at all on Sky Sports Racing because it's too far behind. But if you're playing on racing TV, you like if it's a 2 mile hurdle, you nearly have to have your betting done after 3 hurdles, really. Do you know what I mean? Or that kind of the thing. Like you can't be leaving bets up anyway.
And do you think you're more in profit in running or betting beforehand?
I've no idea. I don't keep it. I know how I get on in each individual day, but I never go to break it down to that forensically to say how I'm doing. And a lot of fellas will tell you how they're doing between horses at evens and 2-1. I couldn't tell you anything like that. I can just give you one figure only.
Okay.
The net figure.
And so then your day goes, and at night then, what time roughly you go to bed?
I could be sleeping 9:30 or 10 o'clock.
Oh, so you go early.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Like you put any of the kids to bed yourself?
Well, one of them is in with us, and the other one could be over. Like she could be on something. You just go and take it off her, and then she's gone.
And would you be a story reader?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Maybe the odd time, yeah. Maybe in the winter now, you know what I mean? Yeah. Especially if it's a school thing that she needs to be a bit of help with, you know?
Yeah.
So, no, that's just not, like if you do what I do, it's not like I'm no different to any fella that has a bet, really, insofar as make absolutely horrendous mistakes, day in, day out, you know what I mean? Yeah. But like it's not like you're sitting down with your legs up saying, I think I'll back another winner, you know what I mean? But you made a cup of tea, I just hit one there.
Final question. Do you sit in the same place all the time watching your racing? Have you a lucky spot?
No, I watch it at a desk and a kind of a swiveling chair. As I said, I will get up and go around and lean over at times if I need one to win. Yeah. And be moving the chair. but no, I that's basically what I do now. And there's very few days I won't have a bet at the same time. Yeah. Even when we're on holidays, I like betting.
Yeah.
Do you know, and my missus doesn't mind it either because somebody has to pay for it.
Well, it's your job.
Yeah, well, that's
your
it.
Job.
Yeah,
absolutely. There you go. And you're very successful at it. There you go. That's an insight into the day in the life of Johnny Dineen. And our final question this week comes in from Jonathan Hoare. And Jonathan says, on good ground, Johnny Dineen, could Banbridge be the one to dethrone Galloping the Shams? So now into 5-1 Banbridge for the Gold Cup. Is he the one lurking in the long grass that's going to stop history?
Yeah, look, I mean, ability-wise, I'd say he's the clear second best horse in that race. Good ground will suit him.
And the weather forecast is very good for next 2 weeks. Very little rain around.
Is that right? Yeah. Well, that'll suit him to a T, and possibly slightly against the Galloping the Shams, but probably at his best, to be seen at his best, he probably wants a good dig in it. That would give him maybe a fighter's chance, maybe. I don't know, really. Look, he'll need everything to go right to have a chance. He's got to get the trip. The one worrying thing I'd have was listening to Paul Townend, who rode him in the King George. He was interviewed and was it by, I think it was...
Yeah, it was by Lydia Hislop and Ruby Walsh on, I think it was the road to Cheltenham that was in Punchestown, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in Punchestown for sure, because you could see the stand in the background. But he was asked, would it get the trip, and the 3.25 miles, and he said he wasn't sure, but he said he definitely wouldn't improve for it. That would be worrying, I think, anyway. Like if he's right, and he should be, because he knows, he has the perfect feel for a horse like that, and look at all the good horses he's
And you wouldn't be thinking now, you know, that maybe he's just trying to get rid of one opponent in the race, maybe.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, I'm guessing he's not, though. He's not. I'd say he wouldn't care what's running in the race. To be honest, of course he wouldn't. He's riding 2 to 5 shot at the same time. So look, that would be slightly concerning. I wouldn't rule him out myself. Now, knowing nothing now, and I never sat in a horse in my life. Knowing nothing, he looks like a horse to me that good tough battler. Like, I wouldn't say he couldn't get the trip myself.
And I thought the interesting thing about Banbridge is no matter what trip he runs over, 3 miles, 2.5, 2 miles. He finishes his races very strong. It's actually jokes with Ryan Spoke in today's Racing Post saying he has no issues about the trip. And obviously he's a trainer, he's going to say that. Yeah. But he does, his last 100 yards in all his races seems to be his best 100 yards.
Yeah. Well, some really good horses have got 3.25 miles that were effective at 2 miles. And he could be another one of them. He has a chance definitely on good ground, some description anyway.
Yeah. So you're giving him a chance. You're not saying it's definitely going to happen, but you're giving him a chance.
Yeah, you mean like ability-wise, he's the clear second best horse in this race.
Okay. There you go. Banbridge could give Galloping the Shams a scare, Jonathan. So now it's time for Johnny's Week in Review. Yes, Mr. Dineen counts down his top 3 performances from the last 7 days. Number 3.
Number 3, I went with Dineen Line, won the National Spirit Hurdle in Fontwell.
Hardy, isn't he?
Great tough horse, yeah. Like he's a grade 2 horse, out and out grade 2 horse. He's not good enough for the grade 1s, but he's really effective at grade 2. I think his rating is in around 150, 151, but he nearly runs to that every single day that they put him out. And he's a great horse in a close finish in his struggle, and he rescued a good race in Fontwell.
Did you back him?
No, I didn't. I didn't actually, no. I'd no bet in the race. There seemed to be good confidence behind Salver, but so I left it alone. Saying that, he only barely got up now. You'd have a squeeze if you did back him, but you'd get paid all the same. So look, I think they did the right thing by swerving the Rendlesham hurdle for wait a week. Like, he was going over 3 miles there. No, maybe he will get 3 miles. I don't know. He's every chance he probably will stay 3 miles. But I said they'd picked the right race. He'd have been, say he was 4-1 in the Rendlesham hurdle. He was 2-1 in Fontwell, and he did really well to get up in the running. He's just a real likeable, solid horse.
Okay, so number 3 is Nami in line. Number 2? 2
Spindlebury was impressive against Bioluminescence in that mare's chasing thing. And I know she was getting £10, but she won with probably more than £10 in hand, in my opinion, anyway. And she's a good course record and all that, and she's possibly a lot of her best form is on heavy ground, but she looked really smart. I see where she'd possibly go for the Power Gold Cup.
Willow Worm Gold Cup.
Willow Worm Gold Cup, yeah. And you wouldn't have her out of contention in a race like that, getting the mares alone.
Great Fairyhouse record.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't realise she had such a good run against Jade de Grugy as a hurdle horse, So, and it did well to rescue a good race down in Cork as well against Majestic Force. When it looked beat all ends up, stays well in that, and is a horse that finishes well too. It was a good effort now, because I didn't back it now, and everyone that I was speaking to seemed to be on it. I just left it go. And at certain stages in the race, I was saying, I'm happy in that hand, but it won well at the finish though, really well.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's 3 Nami in line, 2 Spindlebury. Now, Johnny, I have to say, there's a lot of good horses that are not going to make your top 3, because I can think of 3 off the top of my head.
Right.
And to me, there's only been one performance in the last week that I went, oh. And I presume it's your number 1, but that means you're leaving out Jade de Grugy. So Jade de Grugy has, I presume, has not made your list.
No, she hasn't, no.
Well, the one performance, if I was you now, Johnny, and I wish I was, let me tell you, I wish I was
Stop. What did you pick?
Oh, Game of Inches.
No, I didn't pick that. No.
What did you pick?
I went with Triple E Flyer.
Oh, yeah.
In the Dove Cut hurdle. I thought that was fierce impressive.
And you were laughing at me at the start of this series when I said to you that was a proper horse.
Oh, no, I agree with you. It's a fair animal, but I don't fancy it for Cheltenham at the same time.
Yeah, you're doing well, though.
I think it's no chance in Cheltenham.
All right. Well, why is he your star of the week anyway?
I think he was really impressive, but I would only, why I don't fancy him in Cheltenham, it's such a deep race more than anything else. But he is a good horse, no question good. Oh, look, he's crying out to go to Aintree.
Yeah.
They should wait for Aintree. They should, because on top of that track suiting him, most of his form is on a flat track as well. I think he's been beaten. Was he beaten twice in Chepstow? He's definitely beaten once there anyway. Look, he looks a flat track horse with a lot of pace, and his jumping isn't 100% really there just yet.
A bit hit and miss, yeah.
Yeah, a small bit, but he didn't half settle that race, and it wasn't a mugs race either. Like Miami Magic had form tied in with the Twiston Davies horse that won the Formby. Yeah. That Potter, what's he called again?
Potter's Charm. Remember that name, Johnny?
Yeah, right,
could be doing a lot of talking about him in the second day at Cheltenham.
I know Cheltenham is hard to resist the lure of it, but geez, if I owned a Triple E Flyer, he would be going next in the near. No way would he take on Kopek tomorrow. You go into Aintree, fresh horse, none of them horses will be there, bar maybe Romeo Coolio. Like, there's no Mullins horse to be in the 2 mile race in Aintree, you'd have thought. And Romeo Coolio will be surely after having a hard race in Cheltenham. And sure, maybe he'd finish nowhere in Cheltenham, he wouldn't even be there. Yeah. Like, he'd be very hard to beat in Aintree, whereas he won't be very hard to beat in Cheltenham. Look, I know the fella that owns him, I was listening to Fergal O'Brien yesterday, he said he's local to Cheltenham, he wants to run it there. They'll probably go that way, but in my eyes, it's a bit of a mistake.
Okay, but the future's bright for Triple.
Oh, he's a good horse, yeah, no question about it, but very good horse. Very good horse in those type of tracks. He's a horse with a lot of pace. Like, he looked all over a winner in the Aintree bumper last year and just fizzled out of it. Yeah. So I'm not so sure about him in a dog fight, like in a real, where he's going to have to get real down and dirty in the likes of Kopek. Just a different level of horse altogether, probably,
Okay, there you go. Johnny Dineen, star of the week. It's Triple E Flyer. Now let's hear Johnny's eye catcher. Yes, the one for the Racing Post tracker is
Road to Home. Ran in Naas on Sunday, wasn't it? Sunday, yeah. Stable companion of the winner, Calix de la Barrière, was that his name?
Well pronounced,
yeah.
Johnny, yeah.
Look, he's the horse to jump the gate the previous day, or the fence, or whatever. Not the fence, but it's kind of white thing anyway.
Yeah.
But look, they bought him out of Eugene O'Sullivan's. Like, he'd won a 2.5 mile bumper in the stall, so you'd imagine he has to be a 3 miler minimum. You know what I mean? He's going to be a 3 mile horse in the fullness of time, whatever. So 2 miles, even at a track like this, even on bad ground, was probably going to be too short for it. And the second thing, he probably was ridden with probably too much restraint as well, maybe so. And look, he probably had his eye on the stable companion too. Who knows what's happening there? But anyway, look, I thought he ran well. He's definitely going to be like the old cliche, is going to be a 3 mile chaser down the road. So
anything he does over hurdles is a bonus.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So look, I'd say he's definitely good enough to win a maiden hurdle minimum now. You know what I mean? Minimum, and will be much better horse. Like, he's only 6. I'd say he'll be going straight over fences, and he'll be jumping fences at the end of the year. So. And he could be a horse that could win a big race as a 7-year-old, or maybe over larger obstacles. But he'll definitely get rid of his maiden tag before the end of the season.
Give us the name again.
Road to Home.
Road to Home is Johnny Dineen's one for the Racing Post tracker.
Do you want over £2,000 in Cheltenham free bets? Visit racingpost.com/free bets, the ultimate hub for betting offers. Racing Post. Stay ahead of the field.
It's never ordinary moment time here on Up in the Ante, where Johnny Dineen reveals one moment in the last week where he went, wow!
Yeah.
Did you go wow?
A bit, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, a bit,
well,
yeah. The first race, Fairy House on Saturday.
Oh, I was there.
Yeah. I was tearing from a young fella's match, and it was on the favourite, the Thompson Toms. I had my bet done back to the Reeves, or whatever price it was anyway. No, I finished up, I was in checking the machine. So next thing, when I ran in home, the race had started, and the Thompson Tom was in front. I'm very happy. He was so grand. No, didn't have a clue what the yellow thing that was near it was. The great attitude. Didn't mean anything to me anyway. But I was very happy. There was only about two and maybe 2.5 runners after about halfway. So like typical maiden hurdle. Most of the rest of them were over the washing as well. So Kishbank was probably within about 6 races. The rest didn't count anyway. So I'm saying he was a great attitude. Never heard of it. Don't know what it is anyway. So. Next thing, Tony to straight, Jesus, I'm in trouble here, right? Yeah. Next thing, beat, rag, run over anyway. So when they went by the line, your man says, the fella on the RTV says, that was well supported, 25s into 12s. Next thing comes up, 8-1. Yeah. SP says, 8-1. Yeah. So I grabbed the paper, never ran before. I says, Jesus.
Tom Cleary.
Yeah, so then it started, fellas going on the social media about large gamble, 125-1, 8-1. Like, that was a fantastic stroke, in my opinion.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, they did nothing wrong either. The horse never ran anywhere.
Never, and that was the best thing about it, Johnny. It wasn't a horse that was,
three pulled up or an
8-0 thing. Never ran before. Laid out for a specific race by a specific person.
Yeah.
200-1 it was at one firm. 36 minutes before the race. 200-1, 36 minutes before the race. Yeah. Returns 8s.
Like the biggest plus point in something like that is the level of secrecy. How you keep them things quiet is nigh on impossible.
And you know everything that's going on in Irish racing, and you hadn't a clue.
No, not at Bulls. When I've been involved in backing horses for people over the years, when supposedly no one knows, nobody knows, and the next thing you're watching it and it's 11.5 and it's 10.5, 9.8, 8.4, 7, and you're there like, oh my God, this is going wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the prices, someone is after jumping the gun. But those things are nigh on impossible to keep quiet. And it was a tremendous effort to keep. And I like the fact that first of all, it's a 6-year-old, right? To me, its options are, they have a nice horse in their hands, okay? What do? We go and win a point-to-point, a 6-year-old maiden, get about 40 grand from him if he wins, right? Or chance them in a maiden hurdle. You're getting each way. You're probably averaging, say, 20-1 to their money. Okay, even after backing, just take all the price down. Just say they average 25-1, 20-1 to their money. They're getting 3 places where there's only 3 triers. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Most of the horses are playing hide and seek in the race, and for starters. Yeah. So your bar just runs terrible. You're getting at least your money back and going to have a bit of a profit. And if it hits the right chord, you can actually hit the jackpot.
They knew what they had. Like, it jumped, travel, everything about him.
Yeah, it did, and there was doubles with a horse in the last race apparently belonged to Cormac Farrell, and fellas are intimating that Cormac Farrell had something. And even if he did, who cares? Like, if Cormac Farrell was down to own the horse in the first race, it wouldn't have made any difference to its price. Yeah. And like I would be saying, first time out, a newcomer, a 6-year-old by oh, horse I never even heard of, some sire, Giuliani or something. Giuliani, he was saying like, that's 1,000 to 1. That's 200 to 1's a bad price, that, you know what I mean? But it wasn't, and it was well done, and whoever did like deserves the hats off to me, or tip of the hat anyway.
If you're watching, well done. They could be watching, Johnny.
They could be, yeah.
be
Well, whoever did it anyway.
It's not you, is it?
No, definitely not
Are
me.
you sure?
A certain, I wouldn't mind just getting my money back for the loser.
There you go. That is Johnny Dineen's never ordinary moment. It's the 200 to 1 into 8's gamble. Great attitude. Now it's time for the most successful part of the show. It's Johnny's midweek treat. 8 out of 14. Now I know, Johnny, we do slag you about the price and all that, but that's a fair achievement. 8 winners out of 14 weeks. And I'm pretty sure you're 1 out of 5. So I think you've had 8 out of 9, or roughly 7 out of 8 maybe, okay? So it's a fair achievement. And the other yoke of Catterick that was beaten looked like winning as well against the Mullins thing, okay? So Tommy the Tank won the last time you were on it.
Right.
Hereford absolutely
that one
bolted
easy,
up.
actually, did actually, to be fair, yeah.
So come on, Johnny, let's make it 9 out of 15. What have you got
I'm going to go with a horse that won there lately, a horse called Jackpot Cash. He's running in I think it's 225 in Bangor tomorrow.
Okay, Wednesday, yeah.
James Owen trains it. It was with Evan Williams.
Yeah.
It was a horse that didn't find much. I was looking at it the other day in Sutherland, and I was saying to myself, this fella's find nothing. You know what I mean? When it comes to it, because he used to travel real well.
He missed the last as well.
When Evan Williams, but he found plenty this time, and I'd say they might have found the key to him. Like he always threatened to be a much better horse than his rate. I think he's running off of 92 over fences, and I'm sure he won off a 97 in a walk over hurdles. He's plenty of experience over fences, and look, all it needs is more of the same, basically. If he does what he did last day, he'll hose in.
So Jackpot Cash, time and place?
I think it's 225, it's definitely Bangor. It's either 215 or 225, I'd say 225, yeah.
Jackpot Cash is Johnny Dineen's midweek treat. Now it's time for what's happening this week, and we're going to focus on the big Bet365 day at Kelso. We're also going to look at the Great Wood Gold Cup at Newbury. So kicking off with the Bet365 Premier Chase, Johnny, Grey Dawning against Iroko. Nice match. Which way are you?
Oh, Grey Dawning, good thing, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was surprised that I saw betting like, was it 8 to 13?
Yeah.
Jeez, I thought there was no comparison between them horses. So Grey Dawning's like Grade 1 heading for a Gold Cup horse. Iroko's a good handicapper. I know they'll be probably, none of them will be 100% straight or 100% like tuned.
Yeah.
But sure, Iroko won't be either, you know what I mean? Like, it's not as if he'll be tuned and Grey Dawning won't. Grey Dawning is probably going to be at the same level of fitness as like Grey Dawning. They're both going to entry, different races obviously. Jeez, I thought like there's about a £10 rate, £10 between them. Like, I think Grey Dawning only has to go around to beat Iroko, and they just don't count in the race. I thought 8 to 13 looked very fair, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Grey Dawning. Johnny, very sweet and Grey Dawning to beat Iroko. The Bet365 Premier Novice Hurdle. Can I go first?
Yeah.
Like one of this.
Do you?
I was hoping this will be entered at Cheltenham. It's not. But Julius the Pictons for Jamie Snowden is around a 12 to 1 shot. I actually thought he ran really well last time, I have to say. It was in that race at Exeter where Regent Stroll was a little bit disappointing, but it was over the bare 2 miles. This is 2 mile 2. Was one of the first off the bridle that day, and I thought he stayed on really strongly. It's probably a good piece of placing by Jamie Snowden not to go to Cheltenham and to go here instead. 2 mile 2, Kelso. Can't believe he's 12 to 1. Doesn't have that much to find in the ratings either. Yeah, I'd be very sweet on Julius to pick on.
Yeah, I think it's a tricky race, but look, Good and Clever's favourites, 3 to 1. Good chance at the same time. He's a maiden and all that, but he does bring like top level form, albeit he's 8 or 10 lengths off being a top level horse. But that just might be good enough in a race like this. And he's bringing like Southern and Irish form into a race like this. I'd kind of like that, and I think he's the one to beat now. Whether you'd want to back him, I don't know. I probably wouldn't, but I think he's the one to beat for sure.
Okay, that's good and clever. And the Bet365 More Battle Hurdle, and I think we're singing from the same hymn sheet here.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with Jurencon or or whatever you call him. Yeah.
14 to 1's a big price.
I think it is, yeah, and like he's a 127 rated, but very important here is he's a 127 Southern rating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's an awful difference between the 127 and one north of Birmingham.
Different language, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. So he's going up there with like, I think was it last year that the novice hurdle was dominated by, was it Lifetime Ambition and Django Boy or something like them. Them kind of horses, like the Southern horses have definitely have an edge over
personal ambition.
Or is it, yeah, personal ambition, yeah, over the northern ones. And I think 127 is probably okay in relation to he lost the race in Exeter, but I think something might have happened to him that day, and other than that, like he's pretty faultless. And I think he did beat a goodish smart horse in Chepstow at the start of the year. Right? Or he beat Tripoli Flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good for him. So off 127, I chance him, I think, yeah.
Okay, there we go. I agree. I think Jernsson's got a massive chance. And finally, the Greatwood Gold Cup at Newbury. We've got a few kind of Grand National contenders in here. You've got Can Do Kid is in here, and you've got Meeting of the Waters, of course.
Yes.
I thought Saint Segal, bit of a course specialist, was interesting.
Yeah, that's the one I picked.
Oh,
myself.
Lord. We haven't even been talking about this. Johnny, we haven't been talking about this because Johnny was late. Johnny rang me yesterday and said, I have a flight to catch. Will you make sure you're in there a bit early? In I rock at 9:30, right, to start at 10. Johnny comes in there. What time was it? 10:15?
Yeah. Look, I nearly had a mental breakdown with the traffic. Oh, it's brutal. Brutal. How people live up here is unreal. It's unreal nowadays.
I swear we were in Iceland. It's up here.
Oh, it's worse. It's desperate stuff. Anyway, yeah, look, I think it's a tough race, obviously, but it's quite a few horses here having little preps and little sneaky little races.
This is his
So
target.
this could be his derby, and he won a race there. I was actually there today. He won Newbury. I think he's gone up about 10 pounds since that, but
He beat Bo Balco, didn't he?
Yeah, he did win easy. But he's only got up 2 pounds from getting beaten by the Clukie kid. So look, that gives him a good chance. I thought he was around 10-1, was he? 10-1? Yeah, he's fair enough for that, I think.
Yeah, God. Big prices, and we're agreeing. The world is going to
exactly.
end tonight, I think, Johnny. There you go. That's Saint Segal from both myself and Johnny in the Greatwood Gold Cup, and that's what's happening this week. Now, folks, it's time for DJ versus JD, our weekly charity bet competition. Scores on the doors. I'm holding on to a little bit of profit, €87.50, and Johnny is minus €337.50.
Okay.
So now, Johnny, right? There's no messing about now. Okay.
I know.
This is putting Niall Quinn up, or not? I was going to say Niall Quinn. This is putting Virgil van Dijk up front now for the last 5 minutes.
That's
okay?
it. Yeah. I mean,
Long balls.
trouble.
None of this tippy-tappy stuff are in the box, right? We want a big prize from you.
Or like a cricketer that needs a 6.
Yeah.
I needed to put it out over the stadium and break a windscreen in a fella's car outside. Look, this, what did they say? The cotton has to stop.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Joran Khan.
At 14-1.
Yeah,
Are you going 50 on the nose?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I need a wangaroo like that to get me out of a hole. Look, I think he has a good chance, and I can't be putting up even money shots anymore.
No.
So I think I have 3 stabs to get out of a hole. So I'll go for this one in the first start.
In the Bet365 more battle hurdle.
And if he does win, we'll be back to 4-9 shot next week.
Yeah. Back to type, revert to type. And so 50 quid on the nose and Jernson at 14-1. So that'd be nice, 750.
Oh, yeah,
nice
absolutely.
Profit. I was going to go with Julius de Picton, but I want to try and keep him out. I think Julius de Picton has got massive chance in the Premier Novice Hurdle, but I'm gonna play it safe for a 5-2 shot in the opening race at Kelso. Hellenvine, I think it's how it's pronounced, in the opening race for Alan King and Tom Cannon. 5-2 at the moment against the horses. I think he should be beaten. Getting Weight from Rare Edition is a very good horse, but I just think he's getting Weight from Rare Edition. And I thought last time at Sandon it went kind of astray very quickly, made a few mistakes. I think he's better going this way around, hopefully, and just thought it was a nice piece of place, and he should just win this off his mark. So I'm with Helen Vine in the opening race at Kelso, the 210, 5-2, 50 quid on the nose. And that is DJ versus JD. So now it's time for the festival squads. And stay tuned, because Johnny has got a selection of 14-1 to add to his team. But there's been a few blows, Johnny.
Yeah.
There's been a few blows. Unfortunately, Delta Work is no longer with us. What a legend he was. Unfortunately, suffered a bout of colic and died last week. So Delta Work is gone, unfortunately. And God, he was a great horse. So commiserations to all connected with Delta Work. And Cowabunga, Johnny, you were very keen on Cowabunga, out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he's gone as well, yeah. So more jeopardy.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. It'll be an open game this at Cheltenham, Johnny, because it'll only be about 5 or 6 aside on a big pitch. We won't get 12 onto the pitch.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of space. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But look, we've still got a few fancy runners.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
And you are adding to your team this week. And I have to say, I spoke to Johnny about this before the show. And you're extremely keen on this. And it's 14-1. Take it away.
I like the changing man in the ultimate. I do. I fancy it very strongly.
Very strong.
Yeah, I do fancy a few horses in the handicaps this year, more so than other years, and he's one of them. Total Luck's another. There'll definitely be about 4 horses that I'll be having bigger bets than normal anyway in those races.
Yeah.
Not all the handicaps, no, but this is definitely one.
Why do you like the changing man?
I just think that he's got the perfect blend of experience, and he's a second season novice as well. Do you know what I mean? I like he's only 8 years of age. This is his time. He's 8 years of age. This is going to be his season. He's a rating of 140. He was like 128 over hurdles, but he's good form last year, tied in with some really top horses, like goodish horses as well. And even this year, like, he's been a model of consistency. He was second in Doncaster. He was touched off by Victorino. He was touched off about 3 or 4 different times. Newcastle is another place he got beat. And finally, like, he got that win, which I think he badly needed for his confidence. Like, he only went up £2 for winning 24 and 64 lanes. Okay, Peaky Boy or whatever didn't mind giving his run.
Django Boy fell, yeah.
But he beat it 88 lengths. And he beat the second horse 24 lengths. Like, you know what I mean?
Jingo Blue, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I always get that mixed up.
Jingo Blue, yeah. But he's a good horse in his own right, the changing man. He's a great jumper. He's going to be up there. The ground doesn't really make much of a difference to him. If he's not on the premises, I'd give it up. I know, genuinely. If he's not in the first 4 or 5 years, I definitely would have to.
What profession would you look into?
I
would you
don't
be a
know.
solicitor or something?
Yeah, I'd be a handy one of those now. I'd say. I'd be defending myself going around the place.
So there you go. Johnny Dineen's latest addition to his festival squad is the changing man in the ultimate. And if he's not on the premises, you heard it just as well as I did, he's going to give it up. And finally, it's time for Johnny's joke of the week. Rant time.
Yeah.
Is this a good rant?
It's not a major rant, but you know one thing that perplexes me as to, I've seen it. There's 2 tracks spring to mind. Gordon Park and Naas. Right. Like how many acres in Gordon Park would you say?
I'd say about 52.
Would it be that?
No,
big?
I don't know. How many do you
I
think?
haven't a clue. I don't know.
Give it a guess there.
I wouldn't have an idea. Would it be 100 acres? Would it?
All right.
The whole
course with the golf course.
Yeah, include the golf course.
100 acres, a lot,
inside it. Would it not be though?
Oh, maybe it is. Okay.
I haven't a clue. But I just say it's
100
50
acres
or whatever it is.
Right.
Anyway. But look, in the chase course, whatever amount of acres it is, and it could be between 50 and 100, whatever. Paul Townend and them kind of top jockeys are only interested in about 6 feet of it in the chase course. They only want to be on one strip of ground around the outside, and it's the same in Naas. In the chase course, they want to go up the stand side when the races are about to finish.
Why?
It's something to do with the ground is obviously better there, obviously, and it's not uniform. The ground can't be uniform if they're making that kind of an intent of heading straight over to the whatever it's the left hand side in Gordon, and it's the right hand side.
Would it not have something to do with having the aid of a rail?
No. If you go down the inside, you're drawn dead in Gordon Park. Like, you know what I mean? You've no chance on the chase track. If you go down the inside in Gordon, you'll be laughed at, you know. And everyone is gravitating towards the outside.
Yeah.
Like if you go down, okay, Dino Blue won from the
you took the words out of my mouth, Johnny, as Meatloaf might say.
But it's not often done. And who's to say that if Dino Blue was allowed to come up to Stanley, they would have beat Allegory Devassi out of sight? Do you know what I mean? Do you know who knows? But it definitely is an advantage. Now, I don't mind horses or jockeys going on the outside of if a track is cut up during the day and they say, okay, it's poached on the inside, we'll move off the rail, we'll go on the outside. But if the very first race of a meeting and they're going straight for this golden highway, there's something radically wrong in my opinion then anyway, because that should not be happening. Like you see Townend with riding Nick Rocket, all them horses that he's won in the chases glued to the rail.
And Johnny, what's to say they wouldn't have won somewhere else?
Well, why is he going up there? Why is he forfeiting ground by doing it? If unless there's perceived golden highway.
Yeah.
The same thing happens in Newmarket and the flat a lot. the stand side is a big bias there. I don't think to me it shouldn't be the case.
What's the solution then?
I've no idea. I'm not a groundsman, but I have no idea.
You're a lot of things, but you're not a groundsman.
But that shouldn't be happening, in my opinion. That like you see horses going around, and it's not the same in the hurdle track in Gordon or in Naas. Do you know what I mean?
No.
But it is in the chase, for whatever it is. Maybe the rain falls away from the rail and over to, because if you are going in the middle or the out on the far side in places like Gordon Park, you will struggle to win in most races.
Okay, so this week's joke of the week is the track bias.
Yeah, and just a few tracks like that. I mean, as I said, if a place starts getting cut up and you see jockeys moving off, I can understand that perfectly. But if it's the very first race and your man is glued to the rail, there's something wrong then.
There you go. That's Johnny Dineen's joke of the week. So that's it. That's it for episode 15 of Up in the Ante. And Johnny, this is your busy season. What I suppose what the elves are to Christmas, you are to the end of February, start of March.
No, not too bad this week. I've only about 3. This isn't too bad.
Only about 3.
Yeah.
There's only 3 nights left this week.
No, well, it's
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
So Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've nothing.
Have you many done?
Only one so far.
Only the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've a rake of them the following week now.
you?
With 2s and some of the days. You mean so?
You're double jobbing something?
Yeah.
2
yeah.
on the same day?
Yeah. Well, 2 things to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
One in the morning, one in the evening, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just a few days, but there's a few days I'm not doing anything.
Do you ever get sick of talking about them?
I should look. It's a bit repetitive, but the only thing is about it is it's for your own punting side of the thing. It's good to have your homework done. It helps you maybe find a win or 2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't want to be up the stage talking, like getting things wrong, really. If you can help it, obviously you might get something wrong, but you can't be getting things repeatedly wrong anyway, and blagging away. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Well, don't tire yourself out too much, Johnny.
No.
Get good night's sleep.
Yeah, I have. I've missed a few, like Saturdays and Sundays. I've nothing on the Saturday or the Sunday.
Okay.
I've any of the 3 weekends, so it's not too bad.
Okay, there we go. And as I was saying, Johnny, next week is going to be a week to go, okay? Not only do we have 1 show for you next week, we've got 2. We have got our Up in the Ante preview special coming to you next Thursday with Gary O'Brien joining us again. Always a pleasure to have the voice of Irish racing, Gary O'Brien, in with us to preview all 28 races. So next week, 6 o'clock on Tuesday, it's our usual Up in the Ante. And then 6 o'clock on Thursday, it's our Up in the Ante special with Gary O'Brien and Johnny Dineen.
Yeah, looking forward to that, yeah.
Gary's
a good character.
Fun. Yeah, absolutely. But as I said, that's it until this time next week. Enjoy all the racing this week. Enjoy all the previews if you are attending one. But until next Tuesday at 6 o'clock, I've been David Jennings. He's been Johnny Dineen. Thanks for watching episode 15 of Up in the Ante.